Good afternoon everyone and welcome to a slightly different location but wine tasting nonetheless. And today we're going to get straight into it. We're going to be tasting a Portuguese red wine which you may have seen on the picture just before, and it is called Negreiros. It is a DOC Douro wine from Portugal and it is 2016 vintage. Firstly, Portugal, fantastic wines, but is known very famously for port, and so this is an interesting story wine. It's going to be a great wine, hopefully. This is from Naked Wines, and this was very kindly given to me as a present by, thank you very much, Clayton and Nikki, and I'm really looking forward to trying this. It comes from the north of Portugal, so in a region that is a DOC, which is the same as we had mentioned before, which means it's a protected area. And it comes from the Porto and Douro region of northern Portugal. The Douro River runs through the top of Portugal and then loops up and sort of produces that top corner part of the border between Portugal and Spain, and then is in Spain as well. In fact, it runs out into and through Portugal. So this is going to be the wine, so we're going to taste it, okay? Now, did a little bit of research on this, and this wine is produced by a father and daughter team called Mario and Catarina Negreiros, which is the name right there. And for the longest time, they used to sell their grapes to Coburns to make port. 2002, Mario takes over the business. 2004, he decides that he wants to make a wine under their own label. And this is the wine that they came to, or a version of this wine. And have been making wines ever since. It is a blended, indigenous Portuguese grape style of wine. So they use a blend of 3 different types of grape, or actually slightly more, but they use Touriga Nacional, they use Touriga Franca, and then they use a blend called vinho venhas, which is basically old varietals of different mixes and categories, and it all just is picked from one area, and that's what they use to make their red wine. And so let's try it, okay? Remember what we're going to do. We're going to look, we're going to sniff, we're going to taste, we're going to swill, we're going to taste. Okay, those 4 things. Look, sniff, swill, taste. Look, sniff, swill, taste. Those 4 things. Okay, so look, sort of purple in colour actually, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is deep purple. And I was sort of expecting that, but it hopefully is going to be, now, nose-wise, and I say it a lot, but it is quite true, it is black cherry-ish. It does have some slightly chocolatey notes on it as well. No, is that slightly spicy, I suppose? Yeah. A little bit of sort of toasty notes as well. Yeah, red fruits as well, so, but like really, really ripe raspberries, maybe a little bit of blackberry, but it's, yeah, ripe raspberries, red fruit, cranberry. So, first things, you can tell that comes from somewhere where it has probably quite a lot of heat, is probably quite a warm climate, which it is. It is a continental climate. It gets a little bit of cool air coming off the Atlantic, and you'll see that in the, in fact actually, if I click my fingers like this, you should have seen where it is located in northern Portugal. You would have seen the map of the area. Then you would have seen the sort of AOC and DOC areas for northern Portugal. it's incredibly rich. It's quite heavy, but in a sort of just an intense way. There's a lot of like deep black currant on there. It is quite bittersweet as well, quite chocolatey. It needs something really deep and dark to eat with it. It needs like braised meats, cabbages. You could work it with sort of salt cod as well. Anything that's got a really deep meaty flavour to it, which as a whitefish, that is pretty good. It's maybe a little bit sort of black olivey and saline, but it's baked strawberries and raspberries. It's not too jammy though. It's still quite high. It's still quite nicely acidic. It's certainly a food wine, and it's just really easy and simple and very nice and sort of silky, very smooth. Not too overpowering. I mean, it's 2016, so it's had a little bit of age. And where it comes from is a region called Douro Superior. So it is further inland than anywhere else in the Douro region. So you will get the warmest climate you can there, and that will give the grape a level of intensity that's really enjoyable that you get here. The actual area itself, they grow the grapes. The vineyards are all based along the River Douro, and they have these amazing socalcos, which are these sort of limestone terraces that run up and down in case you didn't know what a terrace was there, run up the hillside. They have other varietals as well, but this quinta, or house where they make it, has these, and they basically redeveloped their old winemaking on site from 40-50 years ago, which means they rebuilt the lagar, which is what you see when you see people standing on the grapes walking along, and other granite fermentation vessels, as well as big old terraces as well they rebuilt just to make their own wine. So these guys are making, they're a young old producer. They've been making wine a very long time, but they haven't been making these kind of wines for themselves that long. And it's really fresh, it's really exciting, and it's a little bit more interesting for when you come to eat something with it. And that's what we're going to get onto tonight. Tonight we're going to, or because I did a bit of research, we're actually slow cooking a brisket in red wine and red onions for about 4 hours. And this wine has a little bit of sweetness to it from the cherry and a little bit of that sort of bittersweet chocolate note as well. So they go really well with like a really slow cooked dark meat. We're going to do a white bean puree and some caramelised hispy cabbage with it as well, with a bit of caraway. And it's just a very nice way to enjoy this bottle of wine. It doesn't need lots and lots of moving parts to it. It's just really simply braised meat with good quality vegetables with it as well. And that's it, guys. It's a sensational wine from Naked Wines. Certainly getting a little bit more of the fruity notes to it now it's been in the glass for a little bit. But it's very smooth, it's very silky. I keep on saying it's silky, but it's not, it doesn't sit heavy on the palate, it's very light. Really enjoyable. It's going to be a superb dinner. Oh, am I going to cheers with water? Idiot. Cheers, enjoy.